Yes, we as a community are ready and waiting and welcome these folks.
Right now, as people scramble to get out of Afghanistan, St. Louis is already welcoming refugees here in town. I want to thank you for joining us. I'm Samantha Jones.
And I'm Corey Stark. Our region is now becoming a safe haven after the Taliban takeover of Afghanistan. Russell Kinsaw has been learning more about the immigrants coming to St. Louis and the challenges they'll face. He's live for us in South St. Louis. Russell?
Hey, right now I'm outside the International Institute on Arsenal in South St. Louis. It is the point agency for resettling immigrants. They've resettled 3 families, but they have a contract with the federal government to take in 1,050 immigrants over the course of this year. Because of the situation in Afghanistan, they've now agreed to take in even more.
In 2007, I got a job with U.S. forces in Afghanistan.
That's Ajmal Angar on the left and his interpreter Humatullah Sahil on the right. Angar works at the Afghan bread house in South City. He and his wife and 4 children immigrated to the U.S. in 2019 because he says his life was in danger. He knows the challenges ahead for the newest Afghan immigrants.
New area, new culture, new people, new situation.
The International Institute has settled 3 Afghan families. 1 arrived just last night, and they arrived with very little notice.
Luckily, a lot of the folks who've been arriving are arriving with U.S. ties, family members or other connections who they are staying with, at least temporarily, so that buys us a little bit of time in order to secure housing.
The recent immigrants to St. Louis were among the Afghans seen in video at the airport in Kabul that were being evacuated by the U.S. military. All of them hold a special visa and were thoroughly vetted in the past.
We're talking about special immigrant visa holders, folks who worked with U.S. military or military contractors during the conflict in Afghanistan who have gone through screening processes.
Immigrants like Angar and Sahil have been able to move to St. Louis, get jobs, and thrive because of the generosity of the community.
St. Louis has an extremely long history of being very welcoming to immigrants and refugees and stepping up in times of crisis like we're in right now.
So how can the community help these new immigrant families from Afghanistan? Well, they need household items, anything you can imagine that would be needed in an empty apartment for a family that came here with nothing. Plus, the agency needs more employees to handle these refugees. Well, coming up all new on News 4 at 6, trying to evacuate a woman who's in Afghanistan and right now is being hunted down by the Taliban. More on that coming up at 6. Live in South St. Louis, Russell Kinsaw, News 4.
As Afghans and Americans rush to get out of the nation, there are clashes between protesters and the Taliban, who the U.S. says have agreed to provide safe passage to the airport for civilian evacuations. And tonight there's concern the Biden administration is not moving fast enough.
No one is arguing about doing security checks. Of course we need that, but get them to a safe place.
Also tonight, national intelligence analysts say there is concern about heightened terrorist threats, especially around the 20th anniversary of 9/11. Stay